the key difference, of course, between that time and this is the explosion of the internet, the social media, so to speak. Do you think that the amplification is a little louder because now we are living 24/7 in the age of information?
It may be. Though I'm hesitant to sometimes say that, it's all a new thing. I mean, in the turn of the 19th to the 20th century, there was the explosion of the paper press, the yellow press in the US.
Yes.
With a lot, I mean, there was the same kinds of accusations. These guys, no control, they just spew venom, etc., etc. And over time, people learn to distinguish. Okay, this is just a low-quality paper. This is the New York Times, and they do a little more background research on what they publish, and so there's a differentiation. And my sense is over time, that's also something that's happening in the internet. Here is something which just publishes anything. Here is some carefully more researched stuff. And the systems will evolve. Now, of course, there's a lot of dynamic here, and it's not necessarily true that it all evolves to a good place. We'll have to wait and watch. But I think new organizations will emerge. We have to facilitate the emergence of those organizations, and there will also be a power struggle between the government, the private sector, the larger public, on whose interests are going to be sort of met by these new media.
Dr. Rajan, when you talk about social media, I think, of course, the meta-verified accounts may have replaced the Times, and the trolls may have replaced the low-quality newspapers, but I guess it's still not that black and white. Because on the internet, it puts you in a bubble wherein you believe that something that is perhaps even aesthetically pleasing when you're scrolling through Instagram can be believable, and you digest that information. The way in which we are consuming information and believing it is concerning. And you spoke about, these numbers of growth. But the alternative numbers that must be told to complete the story, how do you assert their dominance in an age where everything that is glorious is being consumed so rapidly? And this is not only geared towards a certain age gap. You see everybody on social media, from teenagers to very old people, who are circulating messages on, be it WhatsApp or on Instagram feeds. So how do you not counter that, but let them know that, this is a story that but this is the other side of it that completes it?
I mean, that's there's a political facet to it. There's a media facet to it. The political facet is we need a reasonable opposition all the time of whatever dispensation. But a reasonable opposition is important to present the alternative view. And the second is they have to have outlets. You cannot have the media dominated by one view simply because they have the money power. So we have to combat incumbency. The power of the incumbent in this country is enormous, whatever the incumbent be. And it's important that we spread, you constrain checks and balances on government. You cannot have the power of advertising to control all the press by threatening to withdraw advertising if they say something critical of you. So what does that mean? That means advertising revenues from the government should be much more carefully sort of monitored and spread. That's one of the things we talk about in the book.
Yes, of course.
And so why not government advertising based on your circulation? After all, the government wants to reach everyone, so why shouldn't it be based on newspaper circulation? Maybe some dispensation for who you reach, so that there's a wide variety.
Sure.
But why should it be on the whim of the guy sitting in the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting who's told by the minister who to favor?